This is a day that forms one of the integral part of the KIPCO British Champions Series. We're at the halfway point. In fact, we're in the second half of the 2017 series. Delighted to say the operations director for the KIPCO British Champions Series, James Oldring, is with me. Yes, we are now on the downward curve, as it were, to the final day here in October.
That's right, yeah. So we're at race 19 of 35, with the final 5 of those taking place here at Ascot on the 21st of October for KIPCO British Champions Day. So we are well on the way now.
So explain how the series, what it's about and how it leads to the final day.
Sure, no problem. So basically it's designed to shine a light on the best races through the course of a season. So all our older horse Group 1s form part of KIPCO British Champions Series. There are 5 categories, so there's sprint, mile, filly and mare, the middle distance, which is today, and the long distance, with a finale on Champions Day in each of those categories, with £4.3 million worth of prize money on offer, and the best horses and jockeys in the world taking each other on.
Well, and that's the thing, and here obviously you must be looking from just as a standalone race, forget being part of the series, you must be saying, well, this does throw the spotlight on British racing.
Absolutely, and we've got the winners of previous Champions Series races coming together, which is what it's all about. It just helps with the narrative of the season. So you've got Enable, who won the Oaks, obviously favourite here today. 3-year-old fillies now taking on the older horses, the likes of Highland Reel, obviously won this race last year. You know, globe-trotting superstar, Ulysses, who won the Coral Eclipse, and yeah, that's what it's all about. It's about getting the best horses to take each other on and making sure we promote and elevate that above everything else.
And with racing now, I mean, like all sports, it needs the oxygen of publicity, and something like this, and obviously a race like this can stand alone, but somehow you do know that the great outside world, it is not always easy to get the column inches.
Absolutely, and you know, the other side of this as well is it's been a commercial success. If you look at the value of the prize money for the races that form part of Champions Series in the last 6 years that we've been running, it's actually gone up more than 50%. You know, it's made a huge difference to the commercial value of these races, and that's a huge importance to racing.
And obviously the final day back here at Ascot, now it's got its sort of permanent place on the agenda. It is now a major part of the autumn calendar.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think of it as the finale to the European flat racing season. It was the best race day staged in Europe last year. It had 2 of the top 10 races in the world took place on the same day here last year. We had the best horse in Europe, Al Manzour, and the superstar filly Minding winning our 2 key races. The entries actually come out on the 9th of August, so they close on the 8th, and we're hoping that once again we're going to have record entries and we're going to feature the very best horses in the world taking each other on.
Yes, because it comes after the Arc, and there's a logical sort of end point for the season, because obviously our weather starts to deteriorate. But it's great that Ascot also have sort of mindful of trying to produce the best ground when we are susceptible to the vagaries of a British autumn.
Absolutely, and full credit to Chris Stickles, the Clerk of Course here. He does an amazing job. We're trying to preserve the best ground for Champions Day, and you know, we've run on good and good to soft the last 2 Octobers, which is testament to his hard work. But it's absolutely unbelievable how quickly we've established this as the finale of the European flat racing season. And I mean, I would say to anybody that's coming racing today, come to Champions Day, because we really do celebrate flat racing, and there is an awful lot that goes on outside of just the racing as well.
But if you look at this race today, we are blessed with something could be very special happening today with Enable. Highland Reel could be, you know, earns squillions, but is sort of underrated. It'd be great to see him, but there's so many good racehorses in this one. Actually, for people who may not go racing a lot, this is, you can appreciate, we've got the cream of the equine crop, middle distance crop.
Absolutely, and Enable's trying to do something that's never been done by a filly before, to win the Irish Oaks, the Oaks, and the King George in one season. And we were chatting earlier about, you know, what was the Colts equivalent and who's done that. So which Colts have won the Derby, the Irish Derby, and the King George? And we could only find 3 in the last 30 years, and they were Galileo, Shergar, and Generous. I mean, 3 of the absolute equine greats. If Enable does this today, this news is bigger than horse racing. She could potentially become the next equine superstar in the racing world.
Talking of Galileo, James, have a great day. But of course, Galileo was the last horse to win the 2 derbies and then come on here. Of course, he's gone on to have a most celebrated career at stud. Lucky boy. But he also was a very celebrated racehorse who won the Derby in the King George back in 2001.